Hi guys, my name is Sophia Ipezwe. Welcome to Scholarship and Lifestyle with Ash.
And I'm Queen Moses.
Okay, so today basically we'll be talking about blunders that can ruin your scholarship application. So we have some points noted down. So if you see us like looking down at our phones, that's why we don't want to be off topic. So Queen, yeah.
All right, so the first thing on our list is procrastination. Like I said, procrastination is a thief of time. So it's going to be like really stupid of any scholar that's trying to apply for a scholarship to keep pushing the application start date. Because I mean, every scholarship has like the deadline for the application,
Yeah,
and if you don't start applying on time, you're going to end up submitting a half baked application because
exactly.
you didn't start early to start gathering the required documents and stuff like that. Like most times, if you want to like apply for most scholarships, like a year before the scholarship, even the application is even out,
You try and
because
find out
most
what
of these
you need.
scholarships are like
Yeah,
rolling scholarships,
yeah,
and so you already start looking for, okay, these are the required documents, these are the things they usually ask for those scholarship application, like,
exactly.
and tailor each like scholarship. So once you know this stuff, you understand, you start preparing ahead of time. You don't wait till they've announced the scholarship, and then even after they have announced the scholarship, you don't even start the application. You keep saying, oh, the
Wait
deadline is still
like a
like
week
1 month
to
away. So
exactly.
you don't do that as an applicant. It's not
Just
nice.
start as soon as possible.
Exactly.
So next one is ignoring instructions. Okay, so this is very, very, very important. So for people even applying for example, like the PTDF scholarship, I've had people ask questions like, oh, should I do this? They said it's optional. Should I do this? If it is there and you can get it, just get it. Follow the instructions. If they say this amount of words for your personal statement, try and streamline it. Let your work be within that limit, because like a lot of times what makes us not to get an opportunity, honestly, just simple instruction. Like they tell you do something. There are some people, even job applications, not even streamlined just to scholarship application, job applications, you see some places where they'll say, okay, we want cover letter of this particular number of words, but you see some people even giving way, way more than that,
Or too little.
or too little.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when you see follow, in fact, the first thing you should do is to read the instructions, not just scholarship, not job applications. Even when you're in school, if you have exam questions, read instructions, because the instruction is there to guide you on what to do. So if you are not going to use like the instruction they have given you, what they want from you, you're probably just going to miss out. And that can be even the first thing they'll use in trying to like
Disqualify.
disqualify
Yeah.
you. That can just be the first thing. They might not even look at your personal statement. You might be a first class student with world class publication and everything, but ordinary thing like 2,500 words, and you go and give them 3,500 words. That's enough to say, Madam, shift one side. So, yeah.
Yeah, true, true. And then, so another thing is submitting incomplete application. I mean, why start the application if you're not going to like follow the instructions,
Honestly.
and then like submit everything that they've asked for? And like I've seen some persons that, okay, there's a scholarship that you're applying for, right? And they requested for some documents, and you don't have one or two of documents, but then you want to try yourself and say, okay, let me just submit it, maybe by God's grace. Yes, you know that there's God's grace, but I mean,
You want to
this
misuse
is
God's grace.
still the same fact as like following simple instruction. They ask you to submit particular documents. You're not going to start looking for substitute replacement to those documents. It's not your family member that's going to review your application. It's
Okay.
people who don't know you, and they don't care how your emotions or your feelings are. It's just follow the instructions and then submit everything they're asking you for. If they request for particular documents, and this happens a lot when it comes to all these local government related documents, you
Yeah.
understand? They ask for a particular local government document, but you want to bring the one from your head of your village or your ruler. It's not the same. It's, yeah, it's still an identification document, you understand, but
That's
it's
not what they
not
asked
the
for.
one they asked for.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, that would sum up to you submitting an incomplete application because you have not submitted one or two of the documents they're asking for in your application. So, like, just follow what they are looking for. Submit everything that is required. You
Yeah.
understand? Get all the necessary documents, and then you know how, like, okay, they ask for, there are some documents that um you will need, but because you're not within a particular locality, let's say for example you're in a different state than
Yeah.
your state of origin, so you cannot like go home to
To
get
start getting it
those documents, you understand? So that comes back to preparing
ahead of time.
of
Before you
time, you understand?
apply, just know what you
Yeah,
need.
know what you need, so you'd
Know
have
what you
gotten it
need.
by that time. And then issues like, oh, you want to get like a reference letter from your university, like your lecturers, and you've been out of touch with them for a long time, and so you're looking for how to get like one generic reference letter. So you might not really get the exact documents, you understand, if you prepare late, and that will just sum up to you submitting an incomplete um, application, and something you should avoid as
Exactly, because
an applicant.
I've
Yeah.
gotten some people, I've heard some people asking me, what's the quickest professional body to? I said, have I told you that my father works with NSC? How will I know how long it will take for you to get this thing? So ahead of time, prepare and just
Yeah, speaking of that body, you have people who want to just join a body just because there's a scholarship application that they want to use it for that same year. See, these people are not stupid, you understand? Once you submit like a document, like a membership certificate of a particular body to them, and they are saying, let's say the scholarship is in 2024, and then they are saying, oh, so person became a member in 2024. They know that
like
you've not been a member.
like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, you just joined because of the scholarship. So,
It's not
like, they'll be
they're
like,
not even taking it serious.
nah, because like ask you a question about that body, and you probably not even have the
You
information.
definitely do not
Yeah,
have the
because
information.
yeah,
Definitely.
you didn't plan ahead of time for it.
Okay, so another thing we're talking about is lack of personalization, and this has mainly to do with like your personal statement. A lot of all the scholarship acts for that. Apart from scholarships, like school application generally, they ask for it and all. So like, and I've seen some people asking someone else to help them write. You see, your personal statement, your statement of purpose is supposed to be something personal. Yeah, someone should not just be able to write it. It should be able to relate to you because if there's another state,
Or
let's say
using
talking about
ChatGPT and code
exactly,
to write
exactly.
generic
So
stuff.
don't make it general, make it very personal because your personal statement. The reason why they're asking for personal statement is to know about you. They want to know about you. They want to know what you are, what exactly, why do you want to do this course? What is the inspiration? They want to know things about you. So when you're giving someone to write it, the person doesn't know you as much as you know yourself. So just make it personal. Try and, in fact, the first thing you should do, maybe you highlight things that you feel okay.
Or
These
your
are the
selling
kind of things,
points.
exactly your
Yeah.
solid points. Then you can build on them. Yeah. So don't be giving people. You can give someone to proofread. That is okay.
Mm.
But giving someone to like practically do A to Z of it, so that you just look at it and submit. Nah,
Yeah.
that's not it. Because it is definitely not you. It's definitely not you, and you don't know how it would catch up with you much later, and it will just be obvious that this is not from you. So
Yeah, no personal touch. Like, it's
exactly,
very obvious to know when there's no personal touch in like any write up. Okay, so
exactly.
our next point is failing to proofread. Share, like she said, after you finish writing, you can give someone else to help you proofread it, but they should not be the ones to write it for you. Now, the only way you actually fail to proofread your documents is if you did not start applying on time, because you cannot finish applying for a scholarship, like you cannot finish like writing your sop like 1 hour to the submission deadline, and then you want to find somebody to help you proofread it. The truth is that nobody will be available to do at that time, and even
It's
if
not
someone
important
are
to them.
available, the person might not actually come down to actually
Look
look
at
at
it.
what you've
Exactly.
written, because I mean, you have to take time to look at your punctuations, to look at your write up, your structure of your essay and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
These are things that you have to go through, because like there are times that, oh, you've written it yourself, so you might not see like the errors you've made,
Need, yeah.
but when somebody else looks at it, they'll be like, oh, you made mistake here, you made mistake there, oh, you
Yeah.
repeated this point, or this thing you said sounds very selfish,
Yeah.
kind of, because that's like something that happens a lot in scholarship. Like there's so many I want.
Apart from that, some people will now be doing over PT. Like you want them to give you
Yes,
scholarship, so you now make yourself look like the devil
you've
is
been through
after
the
your life.
gutters and stuff. Yes,
So
yes, we know that you were trying to sell yourself, and then but there's um a difference between like having of appealing to someone's empathy and then appealing to their sympathy. You
Exactly.
understand? So there's a very big difference between those two. So like you're not trying to act like someone that how will I even put it now, that they are trying to pick from the gutters,
Mhm.
even if it's literally the
They are not
situation.
pitying you. They are not. They
But I
want to look for
mean,
best candidates. They are looking
exactly.
for
They
the
look for someone who
best
is
people that would not just carry the scholarship but carry their name well. So if you're
exactly.
coming as per when
Please,
I
I
was growing
beg. What
up,
kind of things? Yes.
when I was growing up, I was selling Gary to be able to cover with my school fees, and at the end of the day, don't to come and the line and be pity. Nobody will pity you. They will
That's
shift
true.
you
So
aside.
at the end of the day, just
So
like try to apply early so that, and then if you're trying to proofread yourself, try to read out your SOP, read it out loud,
yeah,
because sometimes when you're trying to read it in your head,
you
you
rush
might
it.
be reading the correct thing in your head, but that's not exactly
What is
what's
written
on the
there?
paper.
Yeah,
So read it out loud. When you read out loud, like you get to understand, okay, you get to hear what you're actually reading. And then if you have made any mistakes, it will sound out loud to you and be like,
exactly.
this doesn't sound right. Like you can correct it. But then if you don't do proofread by yourself, you can like give to a professional proofreader, or you like a mentor, or like a lecturer that you're close to, that can actually look at your essay for you and tell you, oh, this is what you've done that's not correct. And then yes, try to look at other winning essays out there. There are
A
so
lot of them
many
on YouTube.
platforms here on
A lot.
YouTube. Yes, just almost like scholarship with Ash, and then follow these steps because they've been proven to work over the years. So I
Yeah.
mean, you can't go wrong.
Why not?
Yes.
So another blunder is duplication. Duplication. Okay. So some people, just because you're applying for 5 scholarships, you now decide, okay, they are all going to ask for personal statement. So let me just do a personal statement that will work for everything. That is just wrong.
That's definitely
Yeah,
generic
that is
SOP. Yeah.
exactly. It's just extremely wrong. See your personal statement like a CV. When you're applying to different jobs, it's more like you have a different CV for different jobs. Yeah. So your personal statement should be streamlined to that particular. If it's a school, if it's a scholarship, you have to. If it's a scholarship, you should know their values. You should know what they stand for and all. Then use it. Just use it as part of your personal statement. Use it to add to your personal statement. But if you're making it generic, it can actually be quite obvious when it's generic, because it would just, if someone reading it would just be like, this person can as well submit it to somewhere else. And also, how do we know that this person is actually telling us the truth? So personalize it. Look at what you're applying for and streamline it to what you are applying for. Don't just apply. Don't just use it and be like, oh, I already have personal statement. Let me use the one I use for traveling, or let me use the one I use for this school. Or no. Streamline it. Make it about that scholarship, getting the scholarship, why you want to get the scholarship, what inspired you to read what you want to read. Just let it be streamlined on it. Don't duplicate.
Yeah,
Honestly, don't
generic
duplicate.
statements like the one thing that generic SOP shows that one, you're not committed, and also
Exactly.
shows that you did not take out time to research about
Yeah.
the scholarship. Because I mean, if you use generic SOP, it's going to stand out literally to anyone who actually is a reviewer, because one, you will not have like those fine details about the scholarship or
Yeah.
the sponsoring body, or why they are sponsoring that scholarship, to tailor like your SOP to that
It's
purpose.
almost look like you
That's,
don't even know what the scholarship is
yeah,
about.
you're just
So
applying like, and then it makes you look desperate, like you're just looking for literally any opportunity to
Japa, or go to a new phase.
or go somewhere else, or go to school. Because I mean, and then it looks like, if we actually sponsor this person that does not even actually take time to read
What is about.
about this single scholarship, will this person take time to read for each of his or her courses? You understand, to tailor what each lecturer is looking for,
A lot
and
of
then
time
will the person do well in
it
school?
just tells a lot about you,
Yes, it tells
honestly.
a lot
It
about
tells it tells
you.
a lot
Yeah,
about you. You're
yeah,
not serious enough to put in the effort to get something that you really need.
exactly.
So generic, anything generic, no.
From
Just
your CV down to your
personalize it.
SOPs, you shouldn't be submitting anything generic.
Give people to proofread. That's not wrong. Give people to proofread because they'll see it. They are reading it from an outside point of view. Yeah, they are reading it as per no bias or anything, so they'll be able to critically like review it. But when you're submitting one thing, no, 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 just
And
try.
lastly, the most painful part is when you've been hoping for a scholarship, but because you're very lazy and you don't know how to manage your time, you end up missing the
Exactly,
deadline.
exactly.
It's very painful. Like it's something that if it happens to you, you're going to know how painful it can be. Because sometimes you spend money trying to get some specific documents for a particular application,
Exactly.
but because you did not
Yeah.
start early to prepare yourself, and because you did not write down like your deadline. So now the trick is this for me in particular, if I'm applying for something or even doing assignments or anything, you understand, if the deadline is say 22nd of April, I give myself
Exactly.
15th of April as my
Exactly. Give
deadline.
yourself a
So
deadline
worst case scenario, if I meet that 15th of April, it gives me like 1 week extra
to be able to
to
go
actually
through.
review, go through and do a lot of stuff before that 22nd April. And at the end of the day, I'll end up not missing my deadline and I'll still have a very good application.
Yeah.
You get? So, but when you don't write down deadlines, I know you can have deadline at the back of your head or stuff
That
like
back of
that.
your head, there are plenty things you put at that
Anything,
back of
very,
your head.
yeah, many things are going to the back of your head. Like you
Everything you put
cannot
in back of
afford
your head,
to
you will
be
not remember.
putting
So
important things that you should
exactly.
write down. Like even the Bible says, write it
A lot of
down.
times
You have to,
writing
writing it
something down
down.
makes a whole
If you have
lot of
like
difference. So
this post-it notes, stick notes, write it boldly. Put it on a board or somewhere on your wall so that you'll be seeing
now
it.
I'll calm down. Are you showing me to the wall?
No, I have them in my rooms, like my assignment deadlines and stuff. You understand? So, like, it's very necessary.
No,
Like,
actually.
just write it down so that you'll be seeing it. Because if it's going to be painful, if you've taken your time to prepare for a scholarship, you've written your SOPs, you've done this, you've done that, and at the end of the day,
You missed the deadline. Haba.
you get the deadline mixed up with something. Because sometimes when you're applying for like very different scholarships at the same time, you
There's
might
a
miss
tendency
one
to,
deadline
yeah,
for the
yes,
other
yes.
scholarship, and when that happens, you mix the two scholarships.
And it's because of the back of your head. So
Exactly. So
write it
you
down, keep yourself updated with it. So keep looking at it so that you know, and give yourself a personalized deadline. Basically, that's just the best thing. Don't work with their own deadline. Give yourself a personalized deadline and
which is
try to
usually like a week before the actual
exactly try
deadline.
to meet up with that deadline so
Yeah.
that you are sure that you're on track. So
So I hope that like these tips that would help you in all your scholarship applications. And then for more tips on how to apply for scholarship and what to do, what not to do, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, that Scholarship with Ash. And
subscribe, oh,
I mean,
subscribe,
subscribe. You have to get
subscribe,
premium
oh,
content for
subscribe now.
free.
Don't say it's back. So you put it at the back of it. Subscribe now.
Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.